Good morning. Today, I want to talk about metaphysical affinity spaces for my Affinity Space digital mini project. This is something that I am super excited to talk about because it allowed me to connect what we're learning about affinity spaces with my own personal interest of the metaphysical domain and all of the things that encompass that. So I'm super excited to get the opportunity to share it today. So all of this starts with my interest in metaphysics. And there's a lot of different components to that. So the first one that I got into was meditation and mindfulness. A lot of this began for me during the pandemic and during the stay-at-home order. When we initially got that stay-at-home order, I was in a dorm room on ASU's West Campus. So I was stuck in a very small space with not a lot to do. So I really got into meditation and mindfulness because it helped keep me grounded and it helped keep me focused on the things that I could do rather than the things that I couldn't. From there, I kind of stemmed into getting into other metaphysical components as well, such as tarot, crystals, chakras, and astrology. For me, astrology is one of my most recent interests, so I'm still developing my knowledge and understanding of astrology. My demonstrated competence is that I do meditate daily and read tarot daily. I study crystals and chakras through books and videos, and I am beginning to study astrology. So I wouldn't really consider my astrology competence something that I can demonstrate yet, but it's developing. My displayed expertise is that I do share my daily tarot readings with a group of coworkers. This gives us the option to hold each other accountable while also sharing tips and tricks and seeing how our readings compare or differ based on what components we're looking at for the day. I also do share my daily horoscope with friends on CoStar. This helps my friends and I understand each other, and it also gives us a space in which we can interact with each other about this interest. And lastly, this one is more for myself, but I do keep a daily journal of all of my metaphysical practices. So I log what my meditation topic was for the day from my podcast, which I'll talk about. And then I also log any tarot readings, do a little bit of a summary on them, what crystals I used for that, and what crystals I used in my meditation for the day. In addition, I'm starting to write down some of my horoscope for the day. I'm not consistently doing that yet, but it's a beginning practice of mine. The first online affinity space that I would like to talk about is for meditation. This is called Daily Meditation Podcast, and it is by Declutter the Mind. These are about 10-minute podcasts. Some of them usually go a little bit under or a little bit over, but the general guide is about 10 minutes. And they guide you through a meditation for the day. So as you can see in the screenshot, the one that was posted for February 17th was a guided meditation for self-doubt and low self-esteem. So each one has a topic, and if I find that that topic doesn't really match what I need for the day, then I might go back and review an old one that might be more indicative of what I need for the day. And that's what's great, is that there's new ones every day, but you can also go back to those old ones if it's what you need. An additional online affinity space that I use is the Moon Tarot. I discovered them on Instagram because they post pictures of daily readings as well as tips and tricks for how you can better understand readings or how you can conduct readings to where you might get something more accurate. From there, I was able to look at the link to their own website, and that's where I can see this week's energy reading, tips about learning tarot intuitively, February 22 interactive readings, and free printable moon phase calendar for 2022. So much of tarot is based around the moon. So it's really nice that they have that moon phase calendar for people who are just learning or for people who aren't just learning and just need to know when those moments are going to happen. In addition, they have all of their social media linked as well, so that if you want to interact more, you can. An additional online affinity space that I use is the Citrine Circle app, and this talks mostly about crystals. There is a guide about crystals from A to Z. It's a very non-judgmental environment where it just gives all of the facts and all of the associated properties of certain crystals. That way you can look up based on the name or based on a picture if you find something and you need to know what it is, but you don't know the name. You just have the actual item. There's also games and quizzes to help test your knowledge. And then there's also a place to shop in the event that you're looking for a certain crystal, but you don't know where to get it near you, there is some shopping options as well. Another online affinity space that I want to talk about is in regard to chakras. This is another podcast and it's called Your Chakra Coach. So her videos or her podcasts, are usually about 20 minutes. And they talk about each chakra individually, how they connect, and how you can work on unblocking it and how you can work on preserving it. And that's been really interesting to me because this is one of the newer areas of my study and of my practice. So it's been really nice to have a space where I can learn and grow in that regard. The last online affinity space that I would like to talk about is for astrology. This is the one that I really started using before anything else, even though astrology was my most recent addition to my practice. I had this app on my phone before I really got into it because all of my friends were using it. This is CoStar, and it talks about your daily horoscope and things that should be going on based on where you are at in your different houses and all of that. And it also allows you to share it with your friends to keep yourself accountable and to share what might be going on in your life with your friends so they can have a better understanding of you as well. So these are some affinity spaces that I was able to find for my interests. I was super excited to get to show these to you. And if you have any questions, always feel free to reach out. And I look forward to seeing about your guys' affinity spaces as well. Thanks for joining me on this journey.